Actually happening. It's actually happening. We're finally playing blue-white turns. This is a deck that I reject constantly. People send this deck in a lot. And I feel like every 1 out of every like 10 times, I finally need to say yes and just be like, look, people, this is blue-white turns. I need to have a video to point to for when people ask. So, we'll see how this goes. Last time we played this, we got very thoroughly. I believe we 0-3'd or 1-3'd. This archetype always feels rough every time we play it. It doesn't have a lot of things that play to the board. Maybe these copies of Terminus in the sideboard and Timely Reinforcements are going to change that, but I have low expectations. I have low expectation. I think Humans is a fine matchup for Mardu, especially if you're playing correctly and have God, these stupid Temporal Masteries. Have copies of Ensnaring Bridge in your 75. So, Ancestral Visions plus As Foretold are technically more mine effects. And the last time we played this archetype, it had a bunch of mine effects in it, and it was still hot dog poop. So, how long does it take you to check if you'll play a deck? Usually I go through the list at least every other day. I ended up doing a lot of other work this weekend, so I don't think I checked yesterday. We'll update Stream Decker, good call. Ooh, are they playing JAC? Could be. Hey, Cookie Lord, time to 5-0, 10-0 with turns. I would be willing to wager we don't win a game. Thanks for the 2 months and welcome back. I love putting 1,000,000 7-drops in my deck without rule. That's basically what it comes down to, right? Like, you look at this deck, and there are a bunch of cards that don't impact the board, and it's playing a bunch of expensive cards, so that also don't impact the board, so. Alright, well, I get to cast this Opt. Miss on a land and die. Been a lot of stumbles today. Woo! Woo! It's like Christmas, chat. It's like Christmas. Show me land as foretold. Land. Okay, ooh, do I want Temporal Mastery? I kind of do, right? I think I actually want this. I'm going to tippy top that one. Cast it as Explore here. Hey, Snowrin, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month. The no-fly list is not a list of decks that I don't play, period. The no-fly list is a list of decks that you have to pay me extra money to play with. So this was not a $10 donation. This was a tier 3 sub submission, if I recall correctly. Also, I reject this deck a lot. And occasionally, archetypes that get it's not even that I don't like playing turns. I actually really like playing decks like this. It's just decks like this aren't good in Modern, generally speaking. I didn't suspend the other Ancestral Visions not to bluff, but also so I could draw an As Foretold and cast it that way. It's a good question. I should have talked about that. So the reason why I've waited to hold the other visions is because it's a draw 3 if I draw one of our 4 copies of As Foretold here. Maybe. Alright, Eaton, thanks for the brand new Twitch Prime support and welcome. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me employed this month. Yeah, the Taking Turns deck in Hex was really sweet. I actually really like playing linear decks like this. There's a lot of, especially when you get a lot of different things going on. Like, this is one of the neat things you can do in Magic that's, like, not possible in a lot of other games. And I get a witness. Black Green Riches was hot dog poop. Man, can we talk about my friend, the basic planes here for a moment? Can we have a conversation about my friend Basic Planes and her friend Cryptic Command? They just don't get along anymore. The kids, they fight too much. Basic Planes or Cryptic Command. So I activated the Mikokoro there when I did, because I wanted to give myself a chance to draw Tolaria West and put it into play tapped. That way I could have triple blue to tap 13 with Cryptic Command if we'd have done that. But it is what it is. Yeah, this is a deck that people play. Like I said, this archetype is very popular in Modern. This will probably be a video that gets a lot of thumbs down on YouTube, because whenever I like play a deck like this and I like talk about how I'm not a big fan of it, people who like this archetype will watch the video, and then when I give my honest opinion, they'll get upset about it. Let me know that I don't understand what I'm talking about. This is gonna be, oh, just a Spellcrawler, very dead. Got it. Ip ip cheerio, mate. Alright, this is definitely a Terminus matchup. I don't think this is a Timely Reinforcements matchup, though. Pretty confident that's not the case. Wow, is there really only one Howling Mine in this deck? I guess I didn't realize we were on that few. Okay, I mean, the builds with Howling Mine also felt bad when we've played them in the past, so... I mean, he did well at one tournament. So the problem with Burrell in a deck like this is that he turns on your opponent's removal, is the biggest part of his problem, I think. What do you think about trimming Snapcaster Mage? I guess this is a way to actually win the game, and it's like extra turn spells. Cryptic Command's pretty good, though. I'm going to trim these and leave Cryptic in. Do this. Let's do this. I'm going to do this. It's funny, too, because if I recall correctly, the last time I played this archetype, there were people in chat telling me that I had too many Howling Mines. Because that's the other thing about, like, Tier 3 and Tier 4 decks like this, is that whenever you play them, people always show up and let you know that you're playing the wrong version of the Tier 4 deck, and that's why it's not doing well. Yeah, Mentor's a neat idea in the sideboard. I agree that seems sweet. The white cards in general seem interesting. I just, again, like... The big problem this archetype tends to have is that, like, Modern's very much a format about tempo and playing to the board, and this deck doesn't do that, and it plays a bunch of negative tempo cards. I'll be that guy when we play Grixis Control. You're playing too many mines, you're playing not enough mines, you're playing too many Time Walks, you're not playing enough Time Walks, you're playing the wrong Time Walks, why aren't there more Nexus of Fate? You know, just like, dealer's choice. Dealer's choice on the reasons where our build is wrong. Suspend Visions on one here. To set the bar low, I think blue-white is better than the blue-black version of this deck. I'd buy that for $1. I think I'd believe that. I'll fetch a Hallowed Fountain here. Temporal Mastery. Oh, geez. Punish for fetching a tapped land. Guess I'm gonna go... I guess I actually want to, like, top here, huh? Cast Explore next turn. And, like, I could have been, like, just fetched a big... Maybe because I have this and I only need single white, I should have just fetched Basic Island to play around this. That's probably what I should have done. This is going to be a turn behind now. I am going to get untap with Cryptic Command up, though, which is nice. Like, I get to do this, I get to do this, and And then, like, I'm gonna have 4th line Cryptic Command. So, like, we're in a very good spot. Like, if we can't win this game, we're not winning any, probably. Yeah, I think that's probably a reasonable approach, MTG Brews, honestly. It's actually kind of sweet because Teferi ramps you into Nexus of Fate, right? You can, like, Teferi, and then the next turn on turn 6, you can, like, float mana at your end step, untap your lands, and then Nexus. Yeah, Nassif and Devo were both playing turns variations. I'd like to counter your spell and draw a card. I just want to keep their pressure off the table. Like, looking for turns cards at this point. Like, our AV's coming off next turn, so we get 4 shots here. Yeah, Nexus is both good because it's an extra turn card, and it's good because it's an instant, and it's good because it doesn't exile itself. Yeah, that actually seems really reasonable. You just, like, wanna be Nexus and Miracles. I could see that being super good way to approach it. So I think I'm just gonna go As Foretold into Exhaustion here. And we should be pretty well set to win this game. Do you think what you do in Modern is doable in Legacy? Eaton Tortoise, thank you for the 6-month resubscription. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I don't think so, exclusive cards. I think the decks that people want to pay to see played on average tend to be unplayable in Legacy. Because Legacy is a format that's not very forgiving to decks that aren't Tier 1. Tier 1 decks in Legacy tend to be much better than decks that aren't Tier 1. And, like, it's expensive to do it in Legacy too in terms of Magic Online and dollars, because the amount the leagues cost to play is a lot more. Yeah, I think we're gonna win a game, chat. It's kind of exciting. I'm gonna go get an Ancestral Vision here. Don't mind me. Just doing her thing. I choose myself. How many dollar dues to stream me building a deck? I really hate building decks on stream. They end up not being good, because, like, streaming is not just about, like, the magic. It's about being entertaining if you're good at your job. And it's hard to be entertaining while building a good deck, in my opinion. You're also supposed to be, like, interactive, ideally, when you're doing magic stuff. And, like, it's also tough to be interactive while you're building a deck. So usually I look for a $50 donation to build something specific for people. So I am willing to build decks, but I prefer to build them off stream. Have I taken an extra turn yet? I've not, right? No, yeah, I did. I Temporal Masteried, right? Right, I totally Temporal Masteried. Yes, I did. I Temporal Masteried. Let's just do that. Hey, look, there's a Jace. Jace is great. Alright, so can transmute this for an Ancestral Vision. I feel like not having a living end in this deck is a mistake. Just, like, one sweeper you can transmute for, basically. Feels loose, not having one. Alright, and this game's over at this point. Like, we're gonna get to... We've got these Snapcaster Mages, we've got this Jace the Mind Sculptor, like... So we've got Nexus of Fate, cast with As Foretold on 4 counters. Cast with As Foretold on 2 counters. Target target Time Warp. Target me. To draw some cards with Jace. And before anybody suggests we start fate sealing them with Jace. I just want you to keep in mind, do you know how many cards you have to not draw with Jace to, like, win the game? Like, this is... Just don't... We're gonna kill them with Snapcaster Mages. We're gonna kill them with Snapcaster Mages. This I can cast, so I could do this extra turn stack. I can cast this with As Foretold too. That's funny. Forgot about that. Alright, cast with As Foretold. Cast with As Foretold. Target this. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Alright, we can part the Waterveil here too, right? The Brotherhood has cleansed Outlandia with flames, and we will return for those who escaped our grasp. Tomorrow will be a day of firsts, and bounties will be put into place, and the second sun comes. Justin, I'm a little bit worried. I'm concerned. I'm concerned with the seriousness at which this is occurring. All right, that's the last land out of our deck. I can't quite awaken this yet. All right, I'm gonna Nexus of Fate now. So that way I can Jace Storm back into it. I don't even know what we're looking for. They're just like dead to the Snapcaster Mages, right? I don't know, what am I doing? Why am I even doing things? They're just like dead to the Snapcaster Mages with the amount of turns we have at the moment. Alright. Cast with Awaken on that one. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Alright, well that was like our nut draw, right? It's pretty good. The Brotherhood, Red Life Forever, thank you for the bits. The Brotherhood comes tomorrow, chat. Tomorrow. They gave me a heads up. They told me they're going to make it be 12 hours, so we'll see. We'll see what that entires. Do we want some Jeff Does social media? Of course we do. Of course we do. For one, this person just got blocked because they're a random mouth breather that's not being constructive or specific. This person, however, part of the point here is that Grand Prix should all be optimal advertising. If putting them on the same weekend means you can't cover both, maybe don't do that, and instead spread them out to have coverage at all of them. Let's say just the shouldn't probably gets my point across better. If putting them on the same weekend means you shouldn't cover both, maybe don't do that. Yeah. Hype, we won a game when Fearless Leader said we wouldn't. We are in fact on the scoreboard. Is this hand a mulligan? I think this hand's a mulligan. Look at that, so constructive and specific. Take a 10-minute break. I guess Exhaustion's pretty good here, and this means I can Miracle a Terminus. I don't know if I'm a part of the Brotherhood, but I'm gonna bring cookies and pizza. Basically, there's people that are so invested in Magic that they think... There are people that think you can't like something and still be critical of it. Like, if you're being critical of something, it's automatically just bad, complaining, and negative. You can like something. In fact, if you really like something, giving constructive, specific feedback about how to improve that thing is one of the best things you can do for that thing that you like. Morning, J. Tinney. We did finally make it to turns, Divik. I'm going to take Hallowed Fountain here in case we draw Terminus next turn. Cetasaur. Oh yeah, I forgot Brotherhood Fire Sun's approaching. I'm going to bottom this. Okay. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. And I think that's a fine response, and this is how you have a discussion, Calhoun, is you're like, well, we don't want to split viewership between two Grand Prix, to which I respond, all right, that's great, maybe let's split the Grand Prix weekends up then, because we don't have Grand Prix every weekend. You know what's good for coverage? If coverage is consistent, and I know I can turn on the Magic stream every single weekend, and know that I can find Magic there, but I currently can't turn on the Magic stream every single weekend and know that I can find coverage there. And that's a problem, in my opinion. If you're trying to engage and grow your thing, consistency is important. And like, if you're having double Grand Prix weekends when you don't have Grand Prix every weekend, that's silly to me. And again, like that's being constructive and it's being specific. I think that's how you be helpful about things that you want to make better. Only 4 months until I become bad with power. Phyrexian Manative, thank you. Thank you for the 8 months and welcome back. I appreciate it. Ooh. I think I want to just As Foretold here. And again, like, I appreciate people saying that they would like to see me there and all that stuff, and I appreciate that support, but I honestly think that a lot of the casters that they have now, like especially since they moved out a lot of what I would consider like the old guard that had just been there forever, I really like a lot of their current casting crew. A lot of the issues, in my opinion, that remain with WotC coverage aren't really specifically caster related. They're related to things like Grand Prix not having coverage. Contrary to what my hairline implies, I am not old enough to run for president in 2020. Am I dead? Oh yeah, we're dead. They have Duskwatch Recruiter. Good game's opponent. So for those of you that aren't familiar with the opponent's deck, Devoted Druid plus Vizier generates you infinite green mana. And then Duskwatch Recruiter here with that infinite green mana grabs every creature out of your deck, and eventually the opponent will grab a copy of Walking Ballista and use their infinite mana to kill us with that. Do you have an opinion on the Nexus of Fate thing? I think the entire Nexus of Fate controversy is stupid. I think it's not even the most expensive card in Standard. I think it is absurd to be upset about the price of Nexus of Fate if you're not also upset about the price of Teferi and these other cards. Magic has always been expensive, and the fact that like this card is kind of expensive, but we're upset because you get the expensive card in a different way than the other expensive cards, right? Like I think that's just kind of silly. Good game, Riggs. I think it's ridiculous that people who produce any form of content do not seem to understand that consistency is a huge factor. I can attest to this. Yeah. I mean, honestly, a big part of why I've been so successful at what I do, like, is because I'm here and I'm predictably here. And when I have to make a change and I can't be here, I'm upfront about it. And I'm like, my schedule is done almost a week in advance all the time. And sometimes I add on top of my schedule, but I always have a minimum amount that you're going to be able to find me on stream. And I think that's very important. And I know that's very important. Most expensive card, $100 a suit. Most expensive a card could be as a buy box for 100. Yeah, basically. On the thing that you should actually be upset about with regards to Nexus of Fate, the thing to get upset about here, chat, the thing you should be pissed off about is the fact that you have to use a mountain for a proxy to play it competitively. So I'm gonna ask how tall you are. You're 6'2", correct? I'm a little bit just above 6 foot. Just above 6 foot. You shouldn't be upset about how many dollars Nexus of Fate costs. Like, that's just how much, like, Chase Magic cards in Standard cost a lot of the time. You should be upset, however, that you have to have a judge write Nexus of Fate on a mountain for you before you can play a tournament. You can use a forest, right? I don't think I'm in the market for As Foretold here. Nexus of Fate on TCG Player last I checked was like 30 bucks. My ego does have a hard time fitting in the room. You need a proxy because their foiling process is really bad. Alright, I think we can get on the scoreboard against the humans player that kept 1 land on 7 on the play. No file. Yeah, that's it. Less people were complaining about Baby Jace when he was $100 in Standard than they are about Nexus. Yep. Yeah, the people that are upset that, like, they can't trade for a card is just absurd to me at their local... Like, it's 2018. If you can't find something local, go buy it on the internet. You're the problem if you're upset that you can't buy this thing local. Like, it's okay to order things online. I don't care if you had a chance. The people, and I was genuinely confused. I had someone respond to me with, it's okay that Teferi costs what he costs because I can open Teferi in packs. And I was like, do you like buy scratch-off lottery tickets instead of investing in your retirement? Because that's basically what it's doing. Oh no, they took our AV away. This deck is so bad. I'm gonna sit here and get beat to death, but my body is ready to 0-3, just so we're aware. I told you we were gonna get to Bridgevine quickly. Now JK, can't do anything about that one. And like all my card advantages turned off, right? Like I can sit here and like exhaustion them and snack exhaustion them, but I can't do anything. I have Jace, yeah. Yeah, I do. Alright, let's do... I think I'm supposed to bring this plan in. Search seems slow. I'm gonna trim at least one visions here. It's like, I've liquidated all my assets and invested in Powerball tickets, currently living next to McDonald's, leeching Wi-Fi to watch your stream. God bless. God bless us. Sure, and some people successfully buy lottery tickets instead of investing in their retirement, and they win. You know, some of them do. Scoop too early? No, that was an appropriate concession. I was gonna spin my tires with Exhaustion for a couple of turns, but I wasn't winning that game. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I'm gonna trim a cantrip here, although I probably shouldn't trim the opt. Because opt, maybe I shouldn't trim cantrip and bringing in mentor. Maybe the mentor's not good enough. Let's do this. And then what would the Jace do? Just get attacked to death? Like, and we have to, like, hit our 2 of Jace with no help? But, okay, so this is, the point is that, but Jace was still expensive with the ability to be opened in packs. I don't give a shit. Sorry, we're gonna work on that swearing. I don't care if, in theory, more of these could be opened and they could cost less. The theory is irrelevant to what the actual facts of it was more expensive and stayed more expensive the entire time. Like, pointing out that in theory that more could exist, so it's okay because the theory says it could be okay. Like that's irrelevant. The fact of the matter is, this is what actually happens in real life. It's like walking up to someone who's been, like, I don't know, robbed on the street and go, it's very unlikely that you would get robbed on the street on walking down this street. It's like, that's great that you told me it's very unlikely that I would get robbed walking down the street, but that doesn't change the fact that someone just took my wallet. Like, I don't care what your theory says. I care about, like, practically what's actually happening. Good luck taking my wallet. I spent all my money on a children's tree. Oh no! How do we beat Athalia? How do we beat Athalia? I was gonna cast this. I guess that's no longer the plan. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yeah, and just, you know, to close out the Nexus of Fate rant one more time, nobody with a brain or a basic understanding of mathematic probability is opening booster packs or buying booster packs with the goal of opening the mythic that they want. Because guess what? Like, you're complaining that you can get Tephra out of boosters, but you can't get a Nexus of Fate. Guess what? If you buy a booster box, you're gonna get a Nexus of Fate. If you buy a booster box, you are likely not going to get a Teferi. You're likely not going to get a Teferi. God bless us. And this Terminus. They named Supreme Verdict. So next game, this is gonna be a lot worse. But now, for now, we are okay. We have weathered the storm thanks to them guessing the wrong sweeper. God bless you not ghosting, opponent. I work at an LGS, and let me tell you how many... As someone who has taught introductory probability at the college to college students, people who have made it into college and are working on their degrees, let me tell you how bad people are at basic statistics. It's terrifying. It's very scary. Just, like, helping people compute probabilities on, like, getting specific odds on rolling dice, it's very unintuitive to a lot of people. The lottery is a tax that on people that are not good at math. I agree with that assessment. And that's the reason to buy packs. If you enjoy opening packs, you can and should buy a bunch of packs to open. That's the correct reason to do it. The wrong reason to do it is because you're looking for a specific card and think opening packs is the best way to get a specific card. The chance on opening a Teferi in a box is 50%. Either you open it or you don't. God bless. Alright, I mean, we've gotten on the scoreboard each of these games. Terminus was great there. Terminus is great there. I mean, because you should approach all casino games the same. You should, when you're going to the casino, you should take a set amount of money, and you're like, this is the amount of money that I'm willing to set on fire on this trip to the casino. And then you shouldn't go over that money, and if you make money off of that, that's great. It's just like you should approach Magic tournaments. Magic tournaments are like gambling, or like stepping into a casino. You should have a set amount of money that you're willing to set on fire, and you should expect to have zero return on that money. Don't look at it as an investment or a job. It's money being set ablaze, and then if that money isn't just set on fire, if it has a return, that's a happy upside. The Brotherhood has cleansed out. Yeah, Divik. Thank you for the bits. I like that it's a Brotherhood now. Is that like the Assassin's Brotherhood from Morrowind? And a math teacher who got banned from the lottery because he did the math to figure out how many tickets he needed and tried to get a loan from the bank when the jackpot got high enough. Well, that means that state lottery was poorly configured. How am I supposed to make? Yep. A lot of Magic and TCG players in general focus too much on the expected value or their investment, and it's very easy to lose sight of this is a game, and you should be playing the game for fun. Yeah, that's a great, very adult way to do it, Nivik. You should set that money aside as your entertainment money, and then if that entertainment money yields you something past the entertainment, that's awesome. I'm gonna cast this first. God, we drew the Terminus. Oh, I hate everything. I'm gonna bottom this, top Temporal Mastery. They're gonna play Thalia next turn, and I'm gonna hate everything. Isn't part of the issue with Nexus of Fate that LGS can't sell it since it's a promo card? They can sell it, they just can't sell the copies that they got for free from Wizards of the Coast. They have to buy these cards back from players that are buying boxes. Stores, like, they're listed on TCG Player for sale. Like, it's not, anybody who says Magic is a lot of money for a hobby has never really competed in or partaken in a variety of other hobbies that all cost far more money than Magic could ever dream of costing. Like, I feel like when people talk about Magic being like this absurd expense, they're like comparing it to, I don't know, playing like kickball out back with just like dirt square on the ground, or like, I don't know, playing with like sticks in the woods or something like that. Even camping can be expensive. Like, when people talk about Magic being this like absurdly expensive thing, like, there's a deck list on your screen. If you're on mobile, you can type !deck to get a link to the deck in chat. Is this coming off yet? Nope, still not yet. They have a Rex Sage, so I'm not casting this As Foretold yet. Photography is expensive. Yep, there are a ton of things that are expensive. It's not exclusive to Magic. Magic is more expensive than some things, but as far as like luxury hobbies go, it's really not. Yeah. Yes, you can Violin Meddling Mage in response to a miracle trigger to stop the spell. That is a legal play. And there are definitely some cheap hobbies. Like, they're definitely true. But, like, to say that, like, Magic is, like, this thing that's, like, overly expensive in comparison to everything else, I think that's disingenuous. Or, like, represents, like, a lack of understanding of, like, how much other things cost. Alright, none of those were Terminus. Why does Militia Bugler have Vigilance? Why does Militia Bugler have Vigilance? Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. That's a great way to look at it, 177. But Jeff, you are taking into account that people put workshops in their commander decks. VC, we just got done talking about that. You're gonna have to go back and rewatch it. We're dead, right? There's like nothing we can do here. I mean, I guess we're like not dead on board and I could draw exactly Terminus next turn. Am I casting this Howling Mine? I guess I'm like not here to not cast it. I don't know why I'm cheering, but I saw Justin throwing pennies. Why should Grand Prix be an effort for advertisement? Alright, I'm gonna let chat vote. Do I respond to this comment? Okay, this is another way you can gauge if responding to someone's worth your time. This person has one follower, and they've said something that, like, shows a fundamental misunderstanding for, like, what things are going on. So, like, they're probably not worth responding to, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna... Oh, and they don't follow me? Yeah, just block. People, I feel like people like that actually think that, like, Wizards of the Coast is, like, a not-for-profit organization that, like, is putting on Magic events as a charity for Magic players. Like, do people, like, genuinely not understand that, like, Wizards of the Coast is a for-profit business? That, like, everything they do isn't out of the kindness of their heart? They're, like, they're doing this to, like, make money and, like, make their shareholders profitable? I really feel like some people think that, like, it's just a charity. Alright, so I can't do this because of this. I guess I exhaustion them and then suspend this Ancestral Vision. In my vast amounts of experience of interacting with people for far longer than I should have on the internet, the proportion of followers that you have is not proportional to your willingness to listen to open and reasonable discourse. You're wrong, Jeff. The job creators are to give you an option to get rich by being a professional Magic player, right? Whoever keeps putting JAC into the queue, please stop. Jeff, this puts JAC over 100. Thank you for the bit, Snivik. I appreciate it. Yes, I will have to pay one when Ancestral comes off. Alright, that was not my Terminus, which means we're finally dead. You notice oftentimes I don't even pay attention to the match and just watch the rant / chat. We have a variety thing here. We have a lot going on. We have a lot going on. A lot of good things going for the channel. Sometimes the magic's sweet. This league is going about as expected. About as expected. Yeah, this was a tier 3 sub. I will probably quietly go back to rejecting lots of blue-white control lists again. Or lots of blue-white turns lists. We've won a game in each match. We have won a game in each match. On the back of Terminus, we've won a game in each match. I've seen a match live, then rewatched on YouTube because live I was participating in chat listening to the rants. This can't be keepable, right? I'm gonna mulligan. I don't actually. I mean, this hand looks great. This hand looks great. I'm not gonna intentionally try to lose. I'm gonna give it a fair shake. There's a deck list on your screen. If you're on mobile, you can type !deck in chat to get a link to the deck list if you're wondering what this deck has in it and how it does its thing. I'm gonna hold this second. Actually, I think I want to keep both of these. I'm gonna hold this second Ancestral Vision so we can go As Foretold AV next turn. Dealer's choice. Thank you for the bits, Bionic Broccoli. I appreciate it. I just don't think this is a very good deck. I think you should probably, if you want to play Terminus, you should probably just play blue-white control. And again, like, this is a great example of, like, why this deck is going to struggle. I don't have a way to interact with the board here. I could, like, make their lands not untap, I guess. But, like, they could, like, untap and kill me next turn. Like, decks that aren't linear and don't play to the board struggle in Modern. And this deck isn't super linear, isn't quickly linear, and it doesn't play to the board quickly. So, just a lot of room for a lot of the decks that are good in Modern to get on board and run away with the game. Yeah, I agree. I think one As Foretold in the 75 is not having that's a mess. Alright, so we're dead to Recruiter or Chord for Recruiter here. Collecting Company gives the redraws. What time will 5-color stuff be? I have no idea. Leagues generally last... Okay, so we're dead. Leagues generally last anywhere from an hour to 90 minutes. Or sorry, an hour to 2 hours. Generally, they're about 90 minutes in the middle. This league's also a good example of why I have YouTube comments disabled. Because a video like this would just be a bunch of people who like this archetype yelling at me in the YouTube comments about why they think I'm dumb and why their deck list is great. Yeah, I'm just gonna be done, actually. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna be dumb. Done. Alright. Nivik sets